Welcome back, YouTube. I am Matt. Welcome to just another drop in the bucket. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Today we have come to a review I have wanted to do for a very long time and been putting off. There was a model I was waiting for and I didn't get it. But I did get models that I do like, and we are reviewing today not just one pen, but a whole company because this is a question and a statement that people make. One pen to rule them all. I follow that with a question mark today. Can one pen rule many nibs? And the answer to this question lies in the company I'm reviewing today, which is PENBBS. Now, PENBBS is another Chinese pen company. They don't really copy that many other pens, and they have many unique filling systems to go in their pens. And they have some interesting kind of heritage type designs that are unique and probably not all that very common. But can one pen handle many nibs? And the first time I reached out to them, I was curious because I noticed they had a lot of nib charms, which is their way of selling you more nibs. And the answer is that they gave me is that except for two of their models, which are not even named PENBBS, they're just kind of like co-branded names, any of their pens except for one or two, and that's like out of 20 or so. So the majority of their PENBBS models can handle all of the nib replacements that they offer. And that is significant because they have more than just the fine, extra fine, medium, broad, stub, etc. They have more than the usual range. They have a number, as in more than 5 calligraphy nibs, which are specialty ground nibs of different sizes and shapes. And so to answer that question, it seems that they have made it so that if you find one of their models, one pen can rule all nibs. Now, this is my definition of one pen to rule them all. Can I find a singular pen that can handle all nibs? And today is a good start down that track. I have 3 of their pens, kind of by accident. I really wanted just 2, but I wound up with 3, and it's a happy happenstance. So let's start with the first thing that I like to review, if it's worth reviewing, the unboxing experience. A lot of Chinese pens come to you with a huge amount of bubble wrap, multiple inches around it. PENBBS doesn't do that. They actually have a box. So there is an unboxing experience. I'm going to further take this out here in just a second for you and show you even more. A little bit more cardboard, some foam to protect it, not just bubble wrap, and some directions. Good pictures. They have it translated on one side, easy to read and understand about the directions for filling their pens. It's a magnetic enclosure that keeps it closed. It has an embossing on it. It has texture. All good so far. That's a little dinged up. It's supposed to. It came around the world. So progressing to the actual pens now. So again, it actually has a box. Price point on these pens. Matt, how much would I pay for one pen to rule them all? Their average price range on a pen is between $30 and $50. Their top models, not their 14K models, but their top normal stainless steel models, which are right now, they're Chinese Zodiac based pens. So they have a theme around them, and they come with a custom ground stainless steel nib of varying shapes and sizes for $85. So for $85, you get a very uniquely shaped pen that is not a copy from anyone else and has a custom ground nib that is a very cool shape that you won't find. So it's a unique writing experience, all for just $85. Now, they do offer some 14K nibs for those calligraphy nibs, and those by themselves are 115. So for around $200, you could have one of their Zodiac pens and a 14K nib, and it would write so smooth, and it would be like glass, and it would be like floating on cloud nine pretty much. That would be my take on it. I don't have a 14K model yet. I'll work on that for you, and I'll review it when I do get it. And I'll put it in one of these 3 pens, or possibly a 4th if I decide on one. The next thing I review is pop factor. How do these pens like to look? So far, one of 2 very popular color schemes is this right here. This is Galaxy. And if I hold it up right there, oh, that is beautifully chatoyant. Very deep swirls in it. It goes from dark, almost nothing, to a really, really bright color right there of light blue in it. So absolutely beautiful. You have some gold appointments, a dark blue finial, and more of the Galaxy on the end cap there for the, this is the vacuum knob. So again, the vacuum knob that you pull out and push back in to get your suction. The capped band here is, again, it's that gold color, and you got PENBBS right there on it. Shanghai. And yes, it even does have the model, the 456 model on it. So the cap bands are instructive when you do have them, and the 456 is the vacuum model. I have 3 of the models, as I stated. But going back to another thing, so it's a flat-ended pen. They taper to either side, or if you prefer, they taper largest to the center. They all have acrylic threads that you hold, that you kind of have your fingers over on the grip, and you really don't notice any of them. There's just so much to go over. It's difficult to really, place a finger down on any one thing. About a rotation and a half on any of these pens to uncap them. They're all threaded. They don't all have, you see these 2 models here, they call that corderite resin. So it has, I don't know if you could really tell it, kind of in there, you can see it. So it is a mostly clear demonstrator with color swirls within the clear nature of it. So yes, you can see your ink, but that's not the only thing you can see. And you can see there, it has kind of like a pure Gouda look to the top of the finial, or the top cap of it. Also semi-clear, but not quite. Call it transparent, but certainly not completely transparent. All colored to some degree. So overall, a number of different things that I love about PENBBS pens. And I'll go over some of the weight factors with you here on these that I'm displaying. So this vacuum model, the 456, is approximately 5 3/4 inches long capped, about 5 inches uncapped. It weighs 31 grams capped and 21 uncapped, which is a little bit heavier, but it does have more hardware within it to accommodate the vacuum. It is that it has their own unique Galaxy resin, which is different from the Galaxy resin that Asvine uses. They are a different company, and it's nice to see that they all use different things. Over here we have the piston model, the 495 piston filler, 5.5 capped, 5 1/4 uncapped, that's to the tip, weighing in at 24 grams capped and 15.5 uncapped. Material, it's that corderite clear demonstrator. Lastly, we come down to here. This is their unique system, is a magnet filler. And I'll talk about that in just a second. Let me go through some of the basics. So that is 5.5 inches capped and only 5 inches uncapped. Weighs in at 26 grams capped and 15 uncapped. And again, that was in the corderite resin. Now the magnet filler, some people have said that they don't like it. They think it's kind of a gimmick. Kind of mixed. So oftentimes, because it's not a very fast seller, when they made it, it was not popular. It remains somewhat unpopular. The magnet may be, and probably will be, kind of stuck closer to the top up here. And you have to thread out the collar that has the nib and then push on it with something long enough to get it from being stuck. So I was able to use one of the blunt nose syringes like you would use in an open filling system, and I was able to push it back a little bit, and that got the magnet able to travel in it along with its seal. So it was just kind of stuck in there, and again, it wasn't very popular, and it's kind of forcive. So how it works is the cap actually has a matching magnet to go with it. One side of the magnet down here is magnetized to it, so the whole magnet itself is obviously not polarized the same. That's the way magnets work. So you find the side that it magnetizes to, and you slowly bring it from, of course, further up towards the nib, further back down, just like a regular piston, except for it has no reverse action. It's not a vacuum, it's a piston. But you don't have a knob, you just have this vacuum, you have the magnet, to operate it. You do have to do it in a kind of slow motion. It does fill at least 75% on the draw, and I wouldn't do it more than once. I don't know what kind of result you would have. I assume you could do it more than once, but I personally didn't try for more than one time because I was happy enough with the result, and it is a little bit finicky to use. I will say the flow is very nice. Now, the main thing isn't that they have a unique filler system. That's very cool. I appreciate it. The main thing that I bought this entire company's pens for is right here. Let me go ahead and see if I could zoom in even more and if it will pick it up. Yes, right there. So this, folks, is the exact reason why. This is the demonstration of one of their calligraphy nibs, and I absolutely have loved 3 of the 6 nibs that I bought for these pens. Now, I've yet to try the others. I may hate the other 3, but part of buying a new pen experience is that you're not going to love all of them. But so far, I do like them. They come in a different variety of things that they accomplish. Some are very broad, and they're like the long life the Naginata ones. So that's the opposite of a stub, where it is broader across and shorter down. Another is a music type nib, and that is not a direct reference. That is the type of nib, where the further flat you make it, the broader it is, versus the more vertical it is, the more narrow it is. So the width varies on your angle instead of just cross versus vertical. And then I have one that's somewhere in between, where it's kind of a overall medium but has a little bit sharper feel to it. I'll review them in better detail in time. This is just my initial uptake and how I feel about this brand, the nib offerings they have, and the quantities. Overall, it's a huge amount of information to take in all at once, and I'm still trying to process what I've gotten myself into. So far in hand, all of these pens are really great. Let me go ahead and zoom back out, and there we go. So this is kind of what these nibs come in. They call them nib charms. And inside of each of these nib charms has another nib replacement. So they have different types of calligraphy nibs. A lot of your fine and extra fine, they have quote unquote in round. So they've rounded all the edges so that they're not sharp, which is a little bit more comfortable to write with. Most of their pens seem to flow really nicely so far. Overall, this is everything I've been looking for in a pen, to say that one pen can in fact rule all nibs. And PENBBS has done it for us. They're not the most well sung of hero of all pens, and they are definitely, they've been on my radar for some time. The very first one I got, I was not that impressed with, but I only got it in a fine instead of, a medium or a broad. I don't know why that is. Maybe that was just what it came in at the time, but I didn't really venture out, and I was kind of disappointed with it. And it just kind of sat in a pen cup, kind of lonely, and it was just like, oh, I'm the only one of my type. Well, now I've got some others, and they're freaking awesome, guys. Let me know if you have any PENBBS pens. Did you buy any extra calligraphy nibs to go with it, and what inks did you pair with it? My ink pairings are across the board, different colors. I have a Christmas one, and I have a couple from my newest brand, Anderillium, which they're kind of popular at the Florida pen shows because they're our Florida ink company. Anyhow, across the board, these things are writing amazing. They all have different looks. I'm going to finish up this video by sliding this out of the way a little bit. And this is kind of all three of them. Let me zoom in a little bit. There you go. So you could see right there, the strokes all look vastly different. The rest of it I did with kind of a single pen. I'm going to go into a little bit more depth with some of these different types of paper and how it handled on the different paper, because I have a new favorite paper that I got in recently. But that is pretty much wrapping it up for all of these PENBBS pens and their nibs and their filling systems and all the things that I have been looking forward to for so long. Let me know what you have and how's your experience with it. Shh.